Hello. Okay. The first thing I wanted to do, because I realized this the second I left, I did some dumbass shit. Okay, movement. So this thing right here, I set as like a fucking... I... So I put plus equals movement. I incremented movement constantly. That's why I'm constantly sliding when I'm moving. If you saw the end of the last stream, that's why. And I made this whole coroutine bullshit to deal with that. When there is a way simpler solution, I was probably just tired. So one, get rid of that, set it equal to movement, and then add the gravity after. You don't really have to have it before. You do have to define movement before. That's like important, but you can add the gravity after. There's no reason not to, as far as I'm aware. Maybe there's something that could be weird with that. But yeah, that should work now. I can't believe I fucking did that. I think I spent like 20 minutes on that last stream. Okay, he's not moving now. What did I do? Oh, let's see. This is another thing I was worried about. Character body dot velocity equals movement. What is speed? What is your move speed? It's 100. Let's try 10,000. Let's also try... What was that? Transformation entity movement? No. CB entity movement. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Damn, it just has to be really fucking high. That's 10,000? Good God. That is 10,000. But yeah, we got movement. 10 motherfucking thousand. That is crazy. Okay. Let's add... So, I don't want move speed to have to be that fucking crazy. We can make it like... We'll make it 1. And then we'll add, for transformation entity movement... No, CB entity movement. We'll add something called speed factor. So, export var speed factor float. And we'll make that equal to 10,000. Because that is fucking crazy. Move speed times speed factor. How... Nope, that's... You're doing C again. How much you have... Get this cord out. Yep, there we go. I knew it was gonna cut my audio out. Did I use the right... Is it on the right audio filter? Okay, cool. Oh, that sounds good. Let me know. How much you have to increase the total speed for this movement style. That's fucking crazy. Just to be sure, I bet this will work. I really hope it doesn't work is actually what I should be saying. If it doesn't, we're just gonna fucking deal with it for a bit. But how far... Can I move you up? Oh no, you're okay, I need to actually go into default player. Oh, it sucks. You need to be a node 3D, I think. Yeah, I think default player needs to be a node 3D. Can I just transform a node? Is there a way of doing that? Change node to node 3D. Godot. Selecting change type. Right-clicking in the scene dock and selecting change type. Okay. Oh, there is a change type. Okay. That would have saved me a lot of fucking trouble. So yeah, let's just move this guy up. See if that does anything. Okay. Gravity's going normal. That's pretty alright. It's not perfect, but we can adjust it later. Okay, so now that movement is done, first of all, one thing I did want to say, because I don't think I feel like I should mention this. One, sorry my hair looks so bad. It looked worse this morning. Two, it's not very relevant. Two, one thing I did want to say, just for people watching this, especially since we're on, like, the VOD, if you're gonna watch this, and I'll probably put this on, like, a lot of these VODs, just, like, a content warning, like, so... Oh, I don't know if I can do this on every VOD, but if you're watching this, you're watching it. I hope you understand. I'm, like, educational indie dev stuff is very like tame, very PC. It's very cool, and that's good. It's a safe space for people to learn. I don't do that, and it's not that I have anything against that. That's just not who I am. Like PC is great. Keep people fucking comfortable. Like I have nothing against that. I don't want you to ever feel like I'm not trying to make you unsafe. And if you're here with me on stream, I try to act a lot more fucking normal. Like I try not to be as offensive, but this channel is not just me developing, and it's not just me streaming. I make like content that is very edgy and often very offensive, it's not gonna be for fucking everybody. It is literally something I've been like, I'm gonna get canceled for that, and I just kind of learned to accept that. Like, not everybody's gonna like my shit, and that's fine. I don't have a problem if you do think I'm like a fucking asshole or like a horrid racist or something for the things I say. I don't think I am. And I try to be a lot more inclusive here when I'm streaming, because my thought process is like streaming is a public space. You know, I say slurs a lot. Like I say the N-word a lot, which is, I'm black, but I also look fucking white as hell. Like I'm like I'm half black. I have a picture of my black ass mom. I look white as hell though. A lot of people don't take that shit very well, so I just try to like tone it down a little bit. It's also mostly because we're like in a public space, but just a warning: if you're seeing my other content, you're gonna get shocked. Like it's offensive, edgy, often violent humor, and often violent like stories and scenarios. Like I said, one of the games I'm working on is about like horrible political strife and serial killers and shit. It gets into some of that shit. It is offensive sometimes. It's trying to be like a not feel good. It's trying to be a fantasy story, delving into like ethnic like diversity and shit like that. And it's gonna be offensive. That's what I'm saying. If you're sticking to the streams, I don't think I'm gonna be that much of an asshole or anything, or like weird or like offensive or anything. Just be mindful. Like you might see that when you see my other content. I think some of my other contents are. I have one where I'm like basically defending stereotypes as like an anthropological thing, and it's like that, which a lot of that video I'm like, I don't really stand by, but I do stand by that, like a lot of the ideas in that video, and a lot of them are like things people would find offensive. Like I'm gonna get into this because there's nobody here. I do think like, well, it's not even that I think. There's literally, I see it just being a black person. There is a fucking difference between like rich bougie black people and poor black people. There's a huge fucking difference, and they act very fucking different. And I can get into more of that, but I'm just gonna shut up and keep working. I just wanted to give that that perspective. I wanted to explain that. Also, don't worry about me being like a weird evil Republican. I'm not. I'm a hard leftist. I don't really care what you think of me at the end of the day. I probably do in the moment, but I'm gonna fucking work to disassemble that idea. Anyway, let's get back to working. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about now. So I've made him a transform. This episode, a lot of it is going to be setting up settings. So, one of the things you want to do early on in a game engine, now that I've got like a bit of a framework, now that we've got a bit of data that we're working with, we need to work on one. Let's make a doc on this actually. Docs. That needs named. We're just gonna... This was an idea I had for a show. Don't look at that. So I don't forget that later. Goals for Ep2. We might delete this later. Ep2, more like Epstein 2. Bring him back! See what I mean? There's nobody here. I'm like super worried. Which I do want to say, my idea isn't like to be edgy, to just offend people. I don't like offending people. To an extent, it is kind of funny. But the more idea is that I'm an artist. I don't think of this as like an influencer thing or a like, this is what I am. What I am is this streamer. Like, this is me. That's why I act a little more normal. But for the rest of it, it's art. I'm not doing it to convince you of anything or to make you think anything. I'm doing it so that you can like have an experience. The experiences I like to make are fucking evil. That's most of it. They're evil, violent, edgy, and different kinds of things. Anyway, we'll stop talking about that. I need to focus on my thing. Goals for episode 2. So, the main things I want to make, we want multiplayer scalability, save system. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, and Unity-like debug system. So, what this is, so these are 3 things that now that we have, like, the basic fucking classes, we need to start implementing these so that these are all things that work off of like everything we add to the engine. So we need these 3 things to be here. And I'll explain each one. So multiplayer scalability. Multiplayer is kind of a fucking bitch to implement in games. Like you always hear that story with that Stardew Valley guy who like there's all these companies complaining about like, oh, why do I have to implement multiplayer at the last minute? And that Stardew Valley guy just did it at the last minute. That guy's a fucking Chad and a half, okay? Or he didn't do it at the last minute. He like shadow released it in an update or something. It's like, that guy's fucking crazy. And you're gonna see here, the way that games are built, it's just fundamentally different to make multiplayer features. It requires a lot more thinking. So we're gonna start with this, so that we have multiplayer in mind, so that we can like add multiplayer to these RPGs if you want to. You don't have to, but I want to be able to, because I do have ideas for games I want to make in this engine that are RPG or that are multiplayer. So multiplayer scalability. So what this will basically entail is making sure every player and world dependent piece of data can be sent to a server if needed. Might tie into the save system now that I'm thinking about it. Save system, save player and world dependent data. And then Unity-like debug system. So this is something that Godot just doesn't fucking have, that Unity has, that's really good. Unity has the ability, you can adjust variables inside of the editor as the game is running. I don't think Godot has anything like that. I'm gonna look at it. If we can find something, we're just gonna use that. Do I have? Oh, that's my mustache. I thought I had some like. Thought I had some cheese whiz right there. It's my Indiana raisin. We all eat cheese whiz out here in Indiana. What the fuck was I saying? Unity-like debug system. Yeah. So what I want to do is basically make a debug menu. Maybe you'll get like a Konami code for this. So you can fuck with it. I might do that. I love the idea of that. But you'll be able to press like the tilde key in the debug version, and then you'll pop up a little menu where you can just like it might have to be part of the start menu, but basically where I can like try to select things. Oh fuck, that's interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, because my initial thought was that we can add this and then I can adjust like the values in the battle entities, and the move position, and I guess the positions of okay, so that's adjust battle values, like stats, adjust move directions and such of entity movements, adjust physical position of objects, have a debug mode where you can fly the camera. Have a debug mode where you can fly the camera and have a debug mode where you can fly the camera and click on objects to see their editable data. So objects will need to be raycasted from. I don't know if that's how you need to do that, actually. That's how you would do it in Unity. I was going to say you raycast from the mouse down onto an object so you hit their collider. Maybe there's another way of doing that in Godot. I don't know. But the thing I'm seeing here is that we have player data and we have world data. So we're going to have a save file. And I don't know how Godot's save file structure works, but save file structure. What I can't... needed data for save file. World data, such as global booleans that have to be set. That's all I can fucking think of for now, honestly. Oh, I guess time, which will come up later. Like global time. Day of the week. In-game date. So my games have like a calendar system. Currently loaded map. Okay, and then player data. So for right now, we'll have battle entity data, entity movement data. So this will entity movement data. Entity movement. If object does not have entity movement data, show generic for just adjusting transform position. Okay, so what that'll do, the entity movement data will allow us to change the movement, but it'll also allow us to change the position. So this will allow us to change entity movements, positions, as well as transforms. We should probably also have when click on show collider. Probably a really good idea to do that. Good God. Okay, so the first thing we need to do... Wait, why did I move you over here? How to save files Godot. Saving games. We're going to do this before we actually make the data structure, because I need to know how we're going to put together the data structure. I would highly recommend using config file. Okay, someone just... We'll that here. The pattern of having user configuration separate from data is not uncommon and exists both in iOS and Android. Not making an Android game. Serialization. There's not really a best. Yeah, serialization is what I use in Unity, so that's probably what we're going to try to do. The thing with Godot is there's not only one solution, you have many solutions. But before seeing these solutions, find what you want to save. This will probably overcome. Decide what you really want to save first, and then say that data is going to be saved using formatting here. Should I save nodes? You want to save the data that the node contains. Yeah, I want to save config file. Config file will be useful too. Let's add that actually. Save system. Add config file. Configuration, so that'll be as we add settings to the game. That'll be useful. We can do it later, but since we're doing it now, so config file. Let's think of what we'd need for a config file. So screen resolution, volume sliders, master volume. That'll be really good for when we're setting up music, so that way, like, whenever we have something play a song, we always have it say, like, play song by this amount. Because I don't think there's really... Maybe there is, but I don't think there's really a good way to set global volumes, and this way it helps us, like, separate the volumes. So there's master volume, voice volume, sound effects volume. Let me make sure. Am I streaming correctly? Figured there would be people here by now, but it's also very early. Okay, yeah, we're streaming fine. Alright. Okay, yeah, everything worked out right. Okay. That's always the most concerning shit, because it feels like kind of narcissistic. I'm like, I'm like, don't... Am I doing it right? But it's like, no, you're just checking on yourself, you fucking idiot. Oh, okay. So, sound effects volume, music volume. So, voice, sound effects, and music. I don't think there's anything else we need for volume. What other settings would there be? Screen resolution. I think a lot of other things are like graphic stuff that we can add later. That's what I'm thinking right now. Yeah. There's one more settings file, but it's like game settings that don't get changed. Let's write that just in case. Game settings static for each game project. That actually reminds me, we have to rework how we set up this because I forgot this is a project-based structure for me anyway. So game settings, so one of the main things is start on title screen, battle system in use. We have the action battle system. We have the CT battle system, the CH battle system. Don't worry what that means. I think I can probably use that. Because I probably won't ever publish a game. It's a Chrono Trigger battle system. That's actually how I built the game originally, was I just copied Chrono Trigger. I'm probably not going to use that for any commercial games because that's like plagiarism, but it's really good for learning. You can use it if you want. Like, it'll have a Chrono Trigger based battle system. I wouldn't recommend using it for commercial games though. Like, I don't think that's legal. Please don't. I don't want that to get back to me. I don't know if it would if someone else did it. I'm releasing it for free. I might make like a license or something. Are not directly related but needs easy and human readable way. Okay, there's JSON file access. Using resources. Where is serialization? Okay, these are all serialization. Okay, my version of serialization. Resource format saver. My version of serialization in Unity looks a little different from this. Now hold up now. This gum I've been chewing on has lost its fucking flavor. Alright, fine, bitch. I don't want to pet you anyway. I want to use resources, but I'm worried about security. Resources can execute arbitrary code, but this is true for all resources, not only yours. Files you see in file system. Okay. Creating a resource directly to a file using Godot resource fit. They were made for data, they live for data. They seem like they want me to use resources. To be shared between instances, hold methods, emit signals, define setter and getters for the variables. So it's looking like when I used Unity, you could only save like really restricted types. Like you could only save like basic data types like integer, string. This looks like it lets you just save whatever. Let's look at this. That's an hour long. Okay, we're doing that. I'm not about to just watch someone's fucking video on stream. Jesus. Okay. At tool? What is a tool? What is at tool? Oh, okay. Makes it execute in the editor. Huh. Powerful line of code that when added to the top of the script. You can decide which parts of the script that execute in the editor. What if engine dot is an editor? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Does it say anything for like when it is an editor? That's really interesting. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna put you over here. I'm just gonna make a save button. We will have it later. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make a save button. So we gotta make the UI for saving before we do anything. So yeah, let's just do that. What is this? Base scene, node 3D, add child node, save menu, save data UI. Let's call you save data UI. Oh, this reminds me. Okay. So scripts are fine. We need to take scenes and sprites, create new folder, projects. And then we're going to move scenes and sprites into projects. And then we're going to make a new folder, default project template. So scenes and sprites are now going to be in here. And that way, so we have this default project, and you'll get this with the with the thing. We'll have this default project that you can like see at any time, and use and edit. You can like clone this project into your own project and edit. So you have save data UI. Yeah, save data UI. So that needs to be in 2D. Is it like a button? Cool. Okay. Button. Save. Save button. Load button. Load. Save. Save button, load button, add child node, base class for all GUI controls. We'll call you save load menu. So we're going to, I don't know how their UI stretches. I don't know if their UI stretches like it does in Unity. Layout, is there a layout thing? Transform, fill, expand, yeah. So add child node, let's see if that does what I want it to. Let's just do control. Container. Let's put just a panel, yeah. So just background panel. Background. And then theme, input, theme overrides. You can do that yourself. Layout, transform. How did you do it, control? Transform container sizing. This is a child of a regular control. Theme overrides. Focus, localization, layout. Layout direction, layout mode. Can I just full rect? Cool, cool. Alright, that means it'll stretch. And then we'll make text label. So we will call you save/load game. This is the worst part of doing this, by the way. I fucking hate, I hate fucking, trying to... UI is so fucking boring. This is gonna be, like, the worst stream. I'm kind of glad a lot of people aren't watching it. Well, I'm not glad. It sucks, but... This is gonna have the worst, like, viewership. Layout direction, layout mode, anchors... Center top. Is there just a fucking full rect? No, okay. Center top. That works perfectly. Layout mode, layout direction. Transform. Hope I'm not fucking that up. Let's see. Save load game. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Well, the one thing is transforming with it at least, but I want save load game to shrink too. How do I get you to... Fucking hell. I learned the Unity... I learned how to make the UI in Unity work perfectly, and now I'm like, oh no, this doesn't work. Okay. That's not that important in the grand scheme of things. If anyone sees this... and they are like, how do... Oh, I know exactly... Oh, wait, those are anchors right there. So that's all I have to do. I think I just have to move those motherfuckers. Right? Oh, it is just full rect, isn't it? It'd literally say that. Okay, no. 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 Hold up. Save load menu. Is that why? I think this is what I had to do in Unity, too. Yup, okay. That's how you scale the UI. Perfect. I'm so fucking smart. I'm about it smart. Label, title, and then we need, we just need like a list. List? Item list? Perfect. Okay, get the fuck over here. 0, yep. Allow reselect items. Fucking hell. New game, selectable, icon, new image texture. I don't know. Path. Can I just fucking put the one guy in there? Actually, can I just put you in there? That works. Okay. What happens if I click on you? Cool. Okay. So new game. Put a little plus in there. Okay. Saves list. So we got that. We got like our thing we're gonna use. Now we need to... We're gonna have the save button. What do we do here? We need like an on press, right? So what do we need? Let's do a save menu script. How about that? So scripts, utility, system stuff, maybe? Create new folder, menus. How about we put menus just at the top? Create new script. save menu. Okay. So func open save menu. Put pass for now. Func close save menu. Pass. I'm gonna record for 35 minutes. I might take a break. I've been kind of stressed out working all the fucking time. I might need a little break. Just because I gotta leave here pretty soon. But we can finish this at least. Sorry to cut it short. I guess there's nobody watching. It doesn't really matter. But open save menu. Let's just do this. Export. Actually. Var save load menu equals we'll do export. Let's do export so I can just drag and drop it. Export save load menu. Export var save load menu. Oh, if you want to do some weird shit with it, it'll be a little easier. Inspector without typer initializer. What do you control? So we'll put you there. Ready. Save load menu. Dot. How do you make things invisible? You just disable Godot. How to disable and enable a node. Isn't it set process false? Dot process false. Get tree. Remove. Okay, get tree. Remove. How do you remove? Is it remove child? Yeah. Remove child. Save load menu. Save load menu dot hide. Okay. Open save menu. Needs a close button too. I just realized that. Add child node button. Close. I wish the anchors just defaulted there. It's really annoying because you basically do that the whole time. You just want it to scale the right way. I know there's other ways of doing it, but for the most part, you just want it to scale that way. In my experience, maybe I don't have enough experience with that. Okay, open save menu. Let's do this. Open save menu. Open save load menu. Open save load menu. Save menu dot show. True. Add child. And then func open save menu, pass, func, open load menu, pass. And then, so these will both open, save, load menu. Damn it. Damn it! Open, save, load menu. Nope. Save, load menu. Save, load, nope. Save, load menu. Dot, what is it? Oh. Dot get child, I think. Okay. Get child by name Godot. Maybe get child 1 is probably better. Just get child 1. And I'm guessing this is just text, yeah. Dot text equals save game. And then choose game to choose save file to load. To load. Choose file to save. Right, I didn't tell the buttons to fucking do anything. So, is it pressed, I think? Yeah. So, pressed needs to be... on save menu, connect. And then... pressed for here needs to be... This is a feature I really like, because in Unity this does not work like this. On load menu. Oop, connect. And then... let's just do... close, save, load menu. Close, save, load menu. Close button. Pick. Nope. Pick. What do you fucking mean? Function close, save, load menu. That's why I didn't write that. Okay. Pressed. Nope. What? Why? Close, save, load menu. Connect. We can delete that because that's not a part of the fucking script. Okay. Let's try that. Cool. Cool. UI does feel really nice when it's, like, done, though. Okay. So... we need to get... so... shit. I don't even think we need that there. That item list. So let's get rid of that. That's item 3. Let's actually export var that. Var save load list. Item list. So that way we don't need that item. Yeah, we don't need that. We really don't need that. Let's put export. You can change that if you want. You can add stuff to like add a image if you want. I'm not gonna have it do that, but you can. I'm probably gonna add a thing later where it can show the face on there, but we don't need that right now. We really don't need that. Especially for this bare bones engine. Like, that'll probably be something when I'm actually developing the games. But for this bare bones ass engine, you really don't need that. export var, not save load. Export var. What the fuck am I doing? So you can tell I'm fucking tired. Oh yeah, did that work, by the way? I didn't check if those worked. Choose file to save, choose file to load. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, this needs the save load list. We'll call you file list, actually. We'll change your name to file list. File list. Save data UI, file list. So on save menus, file list clear. We're gonna do that each time, actually. And then file list add icon item. Okay. File list add item. We're just gonna do add item. Actually, we'll do icon. No, because that means you have to have an. That's weird. That's weird. Add item. What does add item do? Okay, you can add an icon pretty easily there. So we can do that. Okay. I bet there's a different way you could do that list, but that's a really easy way to just make a quick list. You don't have to have a lot for that. You can put like an image of your player and then have like a, maybe you could like build a texture or something to put in there, like programmatically build a texture of like all of your characters in your party or something. Might be what I do later. I don't know. For now, we're just gonna do this though. Add item. New save game plus. Load save files to list. Load saved files to list. Func load saved files to list. Not gonna work? Okay. So let's do that. Okay, and then I get if there's just no save games, there's no save games. Like, what are you gonna fucking do? I don't really need to put a message there. If you want to, you can. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it for now. We made a menu. We outlined some stuff. I'm sorry this is such a short stream. I've been exhausted. I've been working fucking constantly. Y'all have a wonderful day though. Be safe.